the IFB Thursday night broadcast.
That's gonna work great, man. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yo.
And yeah, we made it.
All
Are
the
you good?
lines, everything's connected now. We haven't
Everything
been
is
snowed out
connected. Good.
yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Well, greetings, everyone. Welcome to IFB Interfleet Broadcasting. It's our 6th season, and this is our award-winning pop culture, sci-fi, news, and entertainment channel. I'm New York Pete, along with my best friend, Chris, the Tipsy Toaster, and we bring you our unique spin on our show. And it's what we grew up with, the great sci-fi TV, movies, books, comic books, conventions from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And of course, you know that we're big Battlestar Galactica fans, and
Huge.
we're here, you're here. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We have great guests. So stay tuned. Feel free to post up so we can recognize you. And, if you have any questions, we try to get to all those, that. So welcome everyone. I see the regulars are up. So let's do our toast. Let's welcome everyone officially.
All right. What are you drinking tonight, Pete?
I have good old the best. You know why it's the best? Whatever it may be that's in here, you know why it's the best? Because it's in the IFB mug,
But
the one that
silent
you
mug's
made.
better.
You had these made like in our first season,
Yeah,
so
first
that's why
season,
it's
yeah.
the best. It's just coffee, just black coffee.
Yep. I'll get started here.
Oh God, okay, yeah.
I have pumpkin chino. This is gonna taste like. Anyways, coffee pumpkin ale. So I'll give it a shot.
Oh, you enjoy that, yes, my friend. Okay. Even if I had a choice, I think I would rather just drink air than have that one. So
Alrighty then. So everybody, we really appreciate you coming on. We are 70s, 80s, 90s pop culture sci-fi, and we really love our family. So it's great to see you guys out there. We're going to notice you here in a second. But
Yep.
before we do that, I'm going to...
oh boy, did you lose? What happened?
There was a hair in there. Anyways, I got it. Darn
Oh,
dog.
man.
It's everywhere. You don't get a
Oh
chance.
man,
It's everywhere.
that would have been
still
so
there.
funny if
It's
you were
still there.
drinking and the dog hairs were like in your face.
Well,
Oh,
it's
I
still
would
there.
have
I got
paid
it.
money to that. Oh my,
Oh, it's still there. Dang it.
just drink, man. What are you gonna gag?
There he goes. I got it. All right.
Ah,
now
come
we're
on.
set.
Now you're all picky. Stop that.
It's a little dog hair. The dog's hair is everywhere, anyways.
Oh, I
He's
would have
everywhere.
laughed.
He's everywhere.
I would have had a bad time if I saw you gagging. Oh man, that would have been really good.
But anyways, thanks
Oh, well.
for coming on, and we really appreciate it. And here's to you, because we really appreciate the people in front of the camera, behind the camera, the people who write, and the people who live in the universe. And that's the family, and that's the people that are here. So thank you so much. And here's to you, because fans
Feel the fleet. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice black coffee at 8 o'clock. You know who's going to be up till midnight.
That's not horrible.
Oh,
I've tasted worse.
don't get picky now. All of a sudden, now you're getting picky. Well, guys, listen, so full disclosure, Tiny Bean Tara unfortunately could not be with us tonight.
And then we just lost
And-
everybody. Okay, great. Thanks.
Yes,
Shouldn't have
so
said anything,
listen,
Pete. You
guys.
should have said you were coming on last.
Yeah, no. We're not like that. Tiny Bean, stay safe. The storm is hitting up in northern New York, and that's where she is. And she's gonna have an issue trying to get out of work and get to her studio in time. And I think it already started snowing there. So Tiny Bean, right? No worries. We got
Stay
you
warm.
covered. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have cool guests in the green room, and then from Mysticon, woo, and then following them, we have none other
And
than
then
Jack
Jack.
Stauffer's
Yep.
back. Oh, we're gonna
Jack
talk
is
about some
back.
of
We're gonna
his,
have to come up with
yeah,
a.
we're gonna
We're gonna
talk
have to
about
come
some
up
of
with
his
some kind of
TV. I
thing.
hope you guys watch the TV show, right? It's on
Yeah.
Tubi, so his
Homework was
his
assigned.
character,
Hopefully
yeah.
you
Oh,
finally did
it's
that.
good. It's good. I watched it. I had fun with it. We'll have fun with Jack. But anyway, all right. So look, we have we have.
All right. Ready?
Wait, hold on, hold on. I got to
I was
put
about to
on.
say you need
I got.
something. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need something. Here we go. I see with the magic mirror of this Colonial Warriors helmet, right? I see with my eyes. I see none other than Chris Laskowski from Australia who's with us
Ooh.
watching. Hey, Chris, thanks for watching, man. Appreciate you. But you know what? I'm going to start from the top. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm going to start from the top. Lola. Lola's
Her
with
name
us.
was Lola. She
Lola
was a
was like
showgirl.
number one. She popped on even before. She was like, "Where are you guys? It's 8:01." And I see Rick Moreno, sci-fi award-winning author. Thanks for stopping in, Rick. Stick around. We got some good stuff going on. Erica Riley's on. James McCoy. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I'll give you a salute through the helmet. There you go. Boom. And George G in the house. Chuck Davenport. Chuck, don't only watch, listen as you write. Get that hand moving and write, man. Keep writing, bro, because I'm gonna start calling you. You know what I'm talking about. All right. And let's see. Lola. Erica Persiani. Thanks for joining us, Lola. Appreciate you. Kim Harms. Bert Oliver Bomer. Bert's our other award-winning sci-fi author. Thanks for joining us, Bert. Thanks for your segment here on the show. I appreciate you coming on and spending time with us. Much appreciated. Dave. Hey, Dave Turnbull is on. Dave, man,
We're not
you
worthy.
know, yeah, you and Gary, man, you got some cool numbers on the post we did. Thanks for joining us at the other con. We'll talk about that later on. And let's see, who else do I see? Do I see Kim Harms? All right,
Yep.
I'm only watching
Erica
one of the
Riley.
one of the feeds. We have 4 feeds, including a live YouTube. I'm not watching that one. But I think that Chris the Tipsy Toaster might be able to see some more than I do. But for you guys that I just mentioned, thank you very much for watching us live. Thank you to the couple of thousand of you that are going to watch this later on and rerun. We appreciate you too. So, hey, let's get it on. So, Tipsy,
Ready to go?
tell me,
Give me a second.
what
But
did you set up, man? You set this up, so you got to
yeah,
do
so
the segue.
unfortunately, I was going to wander my way up to Roanoke, Virginia, for Mysticon. Unfortunately, the weather told me not to.
That's right.
And
However, we have a
however,
representative.
but we have
Yes.
representatives tonight,
Yeah.
and we will have a representative there at the con.
Yeah.
We'll have our costuming person there at the con. Kayla will be there. So,
Yes.
anyways, unfortunately, it didn't make it, but it was great that they volunteered to come on and talk about the con and the film festival. It was kind of cool. So, anyways, let's bring them on here. Let me get a second. And
Dave's on.
there we go.
Dave Fretz, thanks for joining us. Hey guys, welcome to Interfleet Broadcasting. Appreciate you taking the time out. The convention is upon us, and you represent part of it's the film festival, film track, something to that effect. I need you guys to give us give us your give us your spiel, the song and dance. We want to get into a little bit of, what it takes to do what you do for your convention. We're excited that, we're a part of it and that you're here. So, whoever
All
wants
right,
to jump in, go right ahead.
I'll get started and then Jamie
Cool.
can pick up from there. But I'm one of the board members for Mysticon. So there's a 5-person group that really does all the business decisions and programming and decisions and that sort of thing for the convention. And I'm part of that. And in addition to that, each of the different things that have to happen at a convention, like programming and like guest liaison and the film track and volunteer coordinating and all that kind of stuff, we have a volunteer per track. And I'm sort of a 2 hats guy. I wear the board hat as far as doing all the business side of things. And then I also run the film track, meaning I choose film guests, and I help to pick the film track director. I mean, the film festival director. So Jamie and I work closely together, and do the programming and get people signed up for the panels and all that sort of thing. Whereas Jamie, she can tell you everything that she does, but she actually runs the film festival. So if you spoke to her on Film Freeway or emailed us on Film Freeway, you spoke to her. She's the one that asked everybody for their festival download, high res copies, and did all that work. I also served as one of the judges. Since we're done judging, I can tell everybody I was one of the judges for the film festival, which it was just over 40 hours of content that we had to go through in order to get our film festival together. And the film festival is the gemstone. So all of Jamie's hard work is sort of the centerpiece of the film track. Jamie, you want to tell them a little bit about what you do?
Yeah, well, of course, I take the submissions, watch all the submissions, judge on all the submissions. Then, once it gets closer, then what I do is I download all the films that we choose, the official selections, and then of course then we have the awards. We pick the which films we are going to give awards. And then as it gets even closer, like this past month, all I've been doing is we do a what I've been doing since 2016 is I collect the film art posters for the movies that we show here.
I have more for you, by the way.
Film art posters that people send in. I've been keeping a collection of them, and then we display them. I was actually got a bunch of them I got to hang up here this evening.
Well, you're on location.
Do that, and then I answer the emails. I try and help the filmmakers that are coming. I help them make arrangements. Let them know what hotels are available. It's a lot of work.
She scheduled all the blocks.
I enjoy it though. Huh?
She scheduled all the blocks too. So
yes. I schedule all the blocks, all the selections. Yeah.
She puts them all together and makes the schedule work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's joke.
That's herding cats
I've
right
been
there.
working all year.
Oh, for sure. Oh man, hey, listen, you know what? It's something to be proud of. I know that you've been doing this, right? This is not your first rodeo. You've been doing this now for a while at least. And you guys, how big is the convention itself? Like, is it medium size, small, large? How is it? How do you guys see it?
It's right there on the line between small and medium. So it's right there between the small and medium. It's a multi-fandom convention. So fantasy, sci-fi, horror, literature, film. If it's genre at all, we do it. And it's the max number of people that can attend is right at 11 to 1,200. And we have sold out in years past. With the weather this year, that's not likely, but it's still going to be a great convention. Just going to be a bit cozy because of the weather, but.
Yeah. Hey, listen, sometimes these things happen. It's out of your control. So, it's a con, man. It's a con, and we love cons. We've been, traveling. The only one that is elusive to us right now, for now, is San Diego Comic-Con. So that is, the one on the bucket list that we haven't been to. Emerald City, of course, is the next on my list. Otherwise, we've pretty much been to, all the others that are out there that are well known. Some that are no longer around. So between Tipsy and I, we've been doing conventions since like 1977.
DragonCon.
Yes,
you name it.
New York Comic-Con, AppleCon, all the great conventions, and we look forward to hearing back from how you guys do this year. Hopefully, the weather won't get too much in the way. But what is it that you guys look forward to as the con starts up? What is it that you're looking for? And then I know that at the end of it, it's like, okay, now it's downtime. But when you're in it, what's the number one thing on your radar when the con is on? I assume both of you have to be there in some capacity. So what is it that you're always looking for?
Well, for me, as far as what I have to do is, as a director and board member, whenever opportunities arise in order to explore my problem-solving skills, that's what I'm around for. And then Jamie is, of course, pretty much tied to the film room in order to make sure that everything goes off on time and that sort of thing. So, in addition to being a director and all that kind of stuff, and a filmmaker, she's also a conductor of the entire festival from start to finish in the film room. And she's in there for 25 hours over the course of the weekend. So
Wow.
I'm really in awe of what Jamie does.
Wow. Wow, that's something. So you guys obviously you're gonna have the dealer's room, you have the festival going, you have celebrities that are there. So there are, I mean, it's a con that covers, like you said, basically all the con genres, including comic books, and you have the artists, right? It's just scaled down a little bit, so you definitely have your hands full.
Yeah, so one of our guests of honor is Gigi Edgley, who was in Farscape.
Yep.
Yes.
And then we've got Stephen Barnes, who is a well-known author and life coach. And we've got a local artist, Seth Booth. And then we have an independent filmmaker, Jason Butarin, who just dropped a film actually on Lionsgate called Kill Giggles, which we'll be showing tomorrow night.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. Oh, that is so cool. Wow. Very impressive.
Actually, Saturday night. Show Saturday night.
Saturday night. I don't know what day it is. I've been going for about the last 24 hours.
Jamie's going to keep you in line.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll keep you on check.
She's the brains. I'm the muscle.
So Jamie, then so this is obviously we're kind of setting it up to hear a little bit about where you come in and how do you juggle all this? Like, is it all spreadsheets? Is it on your phone? Is it, how do you manage all this stuff? Do you have a staff?
I've got it all on my well, usually I got my husband. He helps me out a lot. He sets up all the equipment for me. That he's setting up the sound right now. I got it all on my laptop. I run everything from my laptop. So
cool. Now you're a filmmaker as well?
Yeah, yes. Mine was born more out of the music that I make. And my husband and I, we wanted a way to showcase it. And I thought a good idea would be to make some edits, some videos together. And I don't know, we've submitted it to several film festivals. I'd say about a dozen and a half. We've been officially selected and played, around the country. I think there's a few overseas as well. But yeah, we're going to show ours tomorrow night at midnight with the music videos. It's like a 1 hour. Yeah, it's a 1 hour video of the whole album. We made a video for every song we made, and we just kind of strung it together. It's got a concept and
very congratulations.
Reality, and yeah.
I'm a filmmaker too, and I can tell you that her film is some of the best editing you'll see.
Oh wow,
awesome!
Is it going to be online?
It is online, actually. It's on
cool.
YouTube. You can go on YouTube, look up Dante's Dharma, Dubstep Philosophy.
All right. So, follow-up question for the both of you is: have you gone to film school? And if yes, tell us about the experience. And if no, does it matter?
No, I didn't go to film school. I think, yes, it does matter. I think film school gives you a lot of tools that are in your tool bag in order to do things. That doesn't mean you can't learn them or pick them up. And I think I've picked up a few. I've done a lot of producing and a little bit of directing and a lot of crew. I've crewed, an uncountable number of movies. I've produced 6 or 7 now and directed one. And it's been a learning curve. I would love if, I had infinite money and time actually to go back to film school, to learn some of the things that other people learned 20 years ago of my peers. But I think film school actually is very helpful. I just didn't go. I was in the Navy, and then I became a software engineer and got into filmmaking via actually helping others, and then wanting to do more and wanting to do more and wanting to do more, and not being able to act worth beans meant I had to be behind the camera somehow.
Well, you have a very
Go
similar
Navy.
background to actually Tipsy Toaster.
Okay.
So that's cool. I mean, that's one way to do it, and I think you're spot on. But Jamie, what's your take on it?
I did not go to film school.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Actually, I mean, this is just something I guess I kind of stumbled upon. I don't know. I was a theater geek in high school. I did plays. I learned about makeup and costuming and building sets and stuff like that. But then, graduated from high school, got married, had kids, and then, my hopes and dreams kind of went to the background for a little bit. But now the kids are grown, and my son and Carla Brindle, the other direct, she's one of the directors for Mysticon as well. Her daughter and my son were in the same class, and that's kind of how I got into Mysticon. So, and then it's just so inspiring. Watching all the films, and it inspired me. And
Excellent. Well,
yeah.
that's great. I mean, that's kind of like how a lot of people end up, making their way. And there's a
Hmm.
lot to be said for getting out there and just doing it, right? It's not all about or just about school. I mean, right? It's good to get that background and to
Oh yeah.
get, but you can always go back, right? You can always,
Yes.
if you want, you can take the classes. You can always do that. I, for one, have done that. And I know that, it's there. But if you're not willing to actually experiment and take chances, then, you're either in it or you're not. And you guys are in
Right.
it. And that's
Right.
great. I love it.
Yep.
Hmm.
And I think
So,
our film festival.
Oops, we lose somebody.
I think
yes, as a matter
I
of
know we've shown.
fact,
It seems like every year we have at least one.
well, yes, 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 as a
Hmm.
matter of fact, there is, and that's ours. It's
Yes.
the
Yes, it
Stranded
is.
Warrior, and we
Oh
appreciate the
yeah.
opportunity for having us screen selected and then screened at the film festival. It's a
Hmm.
labor of love, and it's a showcase. We're competing, against other great fan films, but Tipsy and I, that's our thing, Battlestar Galactica, and I mean our podcast now, our streaming live cast that we have now over 300 and something episodes up, and we've been doing it for 6 years. All comes from the love of the classic Battlestar Galactica, and I thought, well, it was Tipsy's dream. I've been doing, been an indie filmmaker for 20 years, and so that's my thing on and off. But Tipsy was like, listen, we have to give something back on a different level, and so we did. We did the Stranded Warrior, and we're very proud of it. We've won 24 awards, like you were saying, like Jamie, yours, and we're proud of what we did, and we showcase everybody's talent, everybody that's involved. We got a SAG waiver. We have some SAG actors that are involved as well, micro budgeted, and I think
Hmm.
for the passion that we had, I think we did pretty good.
Yeah,
And it was a lot of fun. And thank you guys
yeah.
for screening it. It'll be on, I think it's tomorrow, Friday, in the
Yes,
afternoon.
tomorrow.
So
Hmm.
anybody that's around in Roanoke, go to Mysticon, and you'll be able, if you get your pass, your ticket to go to the convention, you'll be able to see not only the Stranded Warrior, but you'll be able to see all the rest of the other fan films plus other
Wolfenstein
films that
one.
are there
Yep.
as well. It's not only fan films, and you get to
Three
enjoy the
days
convention.
of film festival.
Say
That's
again?
Hmm.
that's
3 days
fantastic.
of film festival.
3 day
Hmm.
film. That's right. 3 day film festival extended over Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yeah. So any of you guys that are out there, here's your
Yep.
opportunity, especially if you're close by. And yeah, the weather is what it is. So obviously, you're gonna take that into consideration. But So, guys, before we wrap up, I need to know a little bit about what's coming up in the future. Because before this con is done or started, actually, there's going to be visions of next year's. And
Oh,
so,
yes.
are there any tidbits that you can give us?
There is a big surprise coming, but unfortunately, I can't spill it tonight.
Well, you can come
Saturday
back on.
afternoon, we've got a big announcement
Okay.
that Carla is going to be making along with another surprise person about next year. So if you come to the convention, come to the State of the Convention panel on Saturday afternoon. It is going to be a pretty cool announcement, I think.
I have to make
Awesome.
sure. I have to make sure
Awesome.
I'm
Michaela's-
excited.
Let's plug the convention, Mysticon in
I
Roanoke.
put a
Let's
link
get
to-
let's where can we find it? How can we get tickets? It's this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, guys. Where is this all available?
All right, so it's go to the website. It's mysticonva.com. That's an easy way to get there. We are at the Holiday Inn Tanglewood in Roanoke, Virginia, and you can get tickets at the door now. You can't get them online anymore, but you can get them at the door, and you can get a ticket for Friday or Saturday or Sunday or all three.
Okay.
There are-
And just so you know, we're already starting planning for next year. We're going to start taking submissions on February 15th next month for Mysticon 2027.
Excellent.
So if you got
Excellent.
a film you want to submit, go on Film Freeway and look us up.
I have one in post right now.
Oh, wow. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for taking the time out. You guys are, up to your eyeballs in convention planning and organizing and running. So thank you. And then, of course, again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to be selected and screened at the convention. Fingers crossed for outcomes. But good luck to everybody that's
yeah.
involved in the
It's-
festival, in the convention, and to the fans. So I hope you guys all have a good time. That's it for me. Chris, do you have any
It's
final words?
fantastic. We really enjoyed you coming on, and hopefully maybe come on again a little bit longer, maybe next time, and when you get ready to spin up.
I do this quite often. I have a weekly show that I do live on Twitch I've been doing for about 6 years now. So I'll come and talk on any podcast I can.
Awesome. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna
We've
have
been
you both
twitching.
back if you want.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that'd be great.
Here's to you guys.
Here's you
Fans
guys.
fuel the
Keep,
fleet.
fans fuel the fleet.
Cheers.
Keep dreaming, and
Thanks for submitting.
Cheers.
take care.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, cool, man. So, that's fun, exciting time, guys.
I wish I
Right?
could
We,
have.
right? I mean, we
Man.
really worked it, and
Well, next
we
year-
did something right.
Next year,
Right.
I will definitely be there because that's probably where I'll be.
You'll be very, very
I'll be
close to-
retired and be in that location.
and living by the con somewhere
That's it.
nearby, so that you have no excuses. You get the shovel out, and you can shovel your way over
I'll
if
walk
it snows.
through the snow and kill a bear with my loose leaf notebook if necessary.
There you go. So, man, it's a lot of fun, right, guys? We thank you, the fans, for helping us make the dream of the Stranded Warrior, right? Because you guys helped fund it. If it wasn't for that, I'm not sure how we would have actually, done it. And so, we'll keep you posted on the outcome of Mysticon and see how we did. We were selected. We're being screened. So that's
And
fantastic.
even if we don't win there, it's still fun to be selected. It's still fun.
Oh,
to be
absolutely. We're
it would have been so
finalists.
much fun to be there, but I will not be there.
Look,
but
we
have
we're
Kayla there. We have
competing-
representative.
There's one Star Wars fan film that's been hounding us in other festivals,
Oh yeah,
and there is a video game fan film
Wolfenstein,
which
yeah.
I saw a little bit of it, and then there's ours. So we're finalists. It's down to the three. Hey, that says something in and of itself. We're very proud, very, very proud of what we accomplished with your help, right? This is
Yep.
all part of the fans and the big team So when we win, and we've won like 24 awards so far, that's all because of you
We're all
guys.
winning.
So thank you.
And
And
it's the actual the fandom that's winning too. We're
oh
showing
yeah,
that there is still interest in the Battlestar Galactica in
yep,
1978. There's still
yep,
people who would like to
absolutely.
see more stories, and hopefully we inspire others to make some stories or write some stories or
Yeah, and get out there and
or
get,
do some CGI and put some music to it
do
or
your
something.
thing.
It's
Do you,
fantastic.
Demetrius? Thank you for joining us.
Demetrius is
Demetrius
here.
Witherspoon was a guest, a fellow filmmaker. We're watching you. I'm
Yep.
following your stuff. Thanks for jumping in.
Especially
Let me see.
the
Oh, Paul,
children's
Commander Kane is here.
yeah.
Okay, Paul Rotter, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you, man, and you doing all the stuff that you do, especially keeping Battlestar on your mind and on the social media and
Some AI
supporting
stuff
us.
too.
Yeah. So there was homework. I hope
Yes.
you guys did your homework
I
because
hope
I
you guys
did
did
mine.
homework. I,
There was homework, and the
I think
homework was Jack
fantastic.
Stauffer homework.
Yes.
You had to go to Tubi, you had to watch the episode, and I did, and it was fun because there's a not only is Jack in it, but there's a lot of other actors that we all know. And I was like,
Hey Jack.
what? So so Jack's here. Jack, welcome back to IFB. How are you, sir?
I'm great, you guys. It's so much fun to tune in a little early and see people, from a generation much younger than mine,
And
excited
mine.
about their projects and what they can do. And it's what's remarkable is the ability to be able to be so creative with the technology that's available. When we were young, it didn't exist. You've heard me say, you could make Gone with the Wind now with your iPhone and edit it and score it and post it on YouTube, and it will look just as good as the 1939 version. But
Maybe
so,
better. Yeah.
yeah, and it's wonderful because among in the fan world, and maybe even that's not the right designation, but in the creative world, I'll put it that way, there is so much opportunity, and people can do it for not a lot of money and just their own imaginations, and you get your friends and basically do what you guys did, and you guys made a great film, and my hat's off to you. But so tonight, I guess for me, were the getting away from Battlestar, just some of the funny crap that went on, and there's these were the David Jansen stories, and which were part of my life. There's and just so I can get you guys to bring me on again, there's a whole bunch of All My Children funny stories too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
I'll definitely
perfect. We'll
look
do
those
those
up too.
too.
That include Richard. Anyway, but so I'll start, and you tell me if I have to stop. There's two David Jansen stories, and the first one was not the police story. This was Harry O, and this was the last episode shot before Christmas vacation, and it was Dog Day afternoon in an hour, and John Rubinstein, played the Al Pacino part, and there was in the bank that they're robbing, somebody was hurt. They'd made a deal to get the injured person out, and I played the doctor that came flying in, and went in and assessed the victim on the floor, got them out, got them into an ambulance, and that was my part. And we'd shot all the interiors and everything, so I knew they couldn't fire me. And so the last thing that we have now is the huge main arrival of all the police cars that come up to the to the bank, and the ambulance and everything, and it's pouring rain. It's supposed to be pouring rain on this, and then there's my long crossover to go into the bank, and then the opposite where we shoot coming back out of the bank. That's what's left to do. Now this is, so it's a nighttime sequence, and we're on the lot at Warner Brothers and Columbia, New York Street lot. And this is the last night of filming before everybody's going home for Christmas. And my mother is out for Christmas. And my mom, this was, I'm going to say this was 1977, because I think Police Story was 78. But anyway, my mom was out for Christmas. And my mom was a show business veteran. My mother was a radio producer, was W.C. Field's radio producer. So, I mean, she knew the business. So everybody on the lot, all they want to do is they want to get this thing done and shot, and everybody wants to go home for Christmas. Right? So we're there. Jerry London is the director, and very famous director. Won his Emmys for the original Shogun, and he was. I was one of his favorite people, his cadre of people that he knew we could trust in doing that. So anyway, here's the sequence. Everything arrives. I go over to David Jansen and Anthony Zerbe, and they have most of the dialogue. I have my great dialogue, which I got in these things like, "Got it, yes sir, I can do that." Great, dramatic scenes on my part. So we're ready to shoot this, and they're going to shoot it with 3 cameras. So you have a camera on the rooftop of New York Street, and you have a master camera down below, and then you have a camera that's doing close-ups of David and Anthony and me, and then there's a camera that follows me across. So you have a lot of working parts in all of this, and everybody wants to get it in one shot. So we're there, and they turn the sprinklers on, and everybody's got everything there. The police cars come flying up, and the ambulance comes flying up, and I get out of the ambulance and I walk over to David and Anthony, and David turns to me and he says, "Okay, now we need to know the layout in there, and so you're going to tell us where everybody is. I want you to be very aware of that." And I go, "Got it." And and Anthony Zerbe says something like that: "Keep yourself safe, but whatever you do, get this injured person out of there." And I say something like, "Yes, sir." And then I have this long walk across the pavement, where I have my hands up in the air, and I get halfway across. And I go, "I'm unarmed. I'm coming in." And you hear John Rubinstein's voice from off camera going, walk slowly. So imagine just all of this now, the rain pouring down. Jerry London goes, "Camera 1 ready, camera 2 ready, camera 3 ready." Everything's rolling. They've taken forever to set this up. And I do this, and I start this long walk across the pavement with the rain pouring down, and there's the flashing red lights and blue lights, and everybody's very tense in this hostage situation. And as I get halfway across the parking lot, from the crowd in around where behind the cameras, I hear, "Oh God, there goes Sonny Boy." And Jerry London yells, "God, what the was that?" And David Jansen went, "Who the said that?" And there I am in the middle of 250 crew members and cast members and people standing there all by myself. And I went, "That would be my mother." That would be my mother. And I thought, now David Jansen had a temper on him. And, I didn't think they could fire me because we'd already shot the interiors, but he cracked up and he went, "That's your mother?" And I'm standing still in the middle with the rain coming down. They cut the cameras, and he comes out and goes, "That's your mother?" at the top of his lungs. And he went, "Get her out here." So my mother comes out through the crowd and stands there, and he goes, "You call him Sonny Boy?" And my mother goes, "Yes." And he goes, "I think I'll call him Sonny Boy from now on."
Oh.
And that was how I really became friends with David Jansen, because it's important going forward into the Police Story thing. I had his phone number. I mean, he took a liking to me, and he just, but I mean, we had to shoot. I mean, the whole crew is furious because we have to reset everything, and do it all over again. And it's a Friday night, and it's like the 23rd of December or something. Everybody wants to go home for Christmas. And there goes Sonny Boy across the parking lot. And anyway, so that was it. So the police story thing was a lot more complicated because it was a 2-hour police story.
Yes.
It was the big one of the year, and
Season 5.
if you watched it, there were a lot of parts in it. And one of the guest star roles, the one that I thought I was going to get, that I wanted, was the one that David Soul actually ended up playing.
Oh.
And David Soul had come off of Starsky and Hutch, and he had a much bigger name than I did, but it was supposedly more money, guest star billing, and everything like that. And my agent called me up and said, I'm sorry, they gave the part to David Soul, and I was pissed. So I had David Jansen's number, so I called him on the phone, and I said, "Look what they did this to me. Can't you do something about this?" And David said to me, "All right." He said, "Look, you've got the script. This is like 4 storylines, and if I have to go to the whole story, the main storyline is the serial killer that we're trying to capture, and it was played by a very young James Woods." And Jane Alexander, in one of her few television roles, was this victim that he was after in this serial killing. But there were other things that went on in the 2-hour episode. And David says to me, he says, "No, you're going to play Sergeant," I can't remember the character's name, "Sergeant so-and-so. You are my aide-de-camp. You are my associate, my liaison officer, or my executive officer, my number 2. And I said, "Well, yeah, but that's nothing. I mean, he got that." He said, "Jack, shut up. Listen to me. David Soul's going to do his part, and he's going to get 2 days of work for his part, and he's going to be out of here, right? Who's the star of this thing?" And I go, "You are." And he said, "So who's in all the scenes throughout this whole thing?" And I went, "You are." He said, "If I'm in all the scenes, who's standing next to me? Who's the flunky standing next to me in all these scenes?" And I went, "Me?" He goes, "Yeah, you dumbass. You're going to get 3 weeks work out of this, and you're going to make more money than David Soul." So that's how I ended up playing his part. So now we get into the filming, and David had his knee operated on, and he was in a lot of pain, and he was drinking a lot of vodka. And David could be very arbitrary, and he got into a fight with the executive producers and Jerry London about scheduling, which threw everything off schedule. And we literally ended up, you've heard the term shooting day for night, that, you're shooting during the daylight, but the filters on the camera make it look like nighttime. Well, we ended up shooting night for day because, we lost all the days, and we ended up with the whole schedule turned around backwards. But anyway, I would sit there, and David's trailer was the same trailer he had for The Fugitive. And it was great. And I would be sitting there. If he wasn't working, I wasn't working. And we would play gin rummy. And so, I mean, except, when a cute young girl would wander over into his trailer, and then his driver and I would go outside. David would be in there by himself. But the first sequence was funny, was that just drove everybody crazy, was the barricaded suspect sequence. And this is the scene where there's a barricaded suspect, in a house. We come flying up in the police car, and we get out, we have conversations, and and it's the same thing. David turns to me and says, "All right, I have a shotgun." And David has his service. Yes, there, just crouched behind the car, and I have a shotgun. And he says, "All right, we're gonna run across the street. You get on one side of the door, I get on the other side of the door, and on a count of 3, we're gonna kick the door in, and we're gonna go in, and we're gonna get this guy." And So, I got a line like, got it. Right. So we do this, and it's the same thing. The police car comes flying in and everything. And we get there. Now, remember, David can hardly walk. And, and we're supposed to run across the street. Yeah. And so we get in the car, and Jerry London is not a happy camper. Jerry London is also directing this. Jerry London is not a happy camper. Yeah, there we are. I haven't seen this in so long.
Oh, it's so much fun.
But it's good.
So anyway, there we go, running across the street. Now, so we get there, and I'm all, tense up. I'm acting up the storm here, and I get to shoot the shotgun, because as we run across the street, I'm supposed to shoot like 4 rounds, because the barricaded suspect is hiding behind the window and shooting out at the police car.
There you go.
Shooting the shotgun, and so we're ready, and we get in, and I'm there. I'm gonna get there, and everything. So we do the dialogue, we get around, and we go tearing across the street. And I had forgotten that David can't run. And halfway across the street, I realized instead of running together, I'm about 12 feet in front of him. And I know this shot is no good. And I turned around and went, "Will you run faster, you fucking gimp?" And Jerry London yells, "Cut." David Jansen falls down on the street laughing. He's laughing so hard at all this. Now, you have to realize the stuff that had gone on with the studio, and Jerry London not happy, and
he's limping there, that's for sure.
Yeah, the executive producer's really, really mad. Oh yeah, there we are on either side of the door. So now we finally, that's right, kicking the door open, going in. The barricaded suspect is, we shoot him, and but now, we've already had the run, you fucking gimp, and that stopped everything. So we have to go back and reshoot all the entrance again and do that again. And Jerry London's really mad at David, because David is half in the bag throughout all this thing. And I must tell you that half in the bag, that man never missed a cue, never screwed up a line, never missed a mark, was right there. And he was one of the few people, I guess, who could do that. But we've done now this run across the street about 3 times. And the barricaded suspect is in there shooting back at us 3 times. So now we run over, and we're on either side of the door. And right, the sequence, I look at David, he looks at me, I nod my head, then the camera on him, he nods his head. So it's a single of me and a single of him nodding his head. Then we crash through the door, right? So there, camera's rolling again. We've gotten there finally. We're on either side of the door, right? And I turn at David, and I nod my head, and David goes, and he walks off the camera. He walks out stage right. He exits stage right. Jerry London yells, "What the fuck are you doing?" And Jansen's laughing hysterically. He said, "I couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it. He's acting up so hard. I just couldn't resist fucking up with him." So now we got to set this up again. And right now I'm trying to think. I can't remember who the executive producer of Police Story was. It's 50 years ago. So it's gone. But he has now arrived, because the big station wagon is pulled up in front, and the executives are out there. So now I go, "Come on, you can't screw this up. We can, you're going to get me in trouble." And Dave says, "Okay, I'll be good. I'll be good." So we sit there. Now, don't forget the barricaded suspect, who's been behind the window all night long, right? So we get there. Jerry rolls the camera. He goes, "Action," right? And I nod my head. David nods his head. I kick open the door, and there's the barricaded suspect standing right in front of us, going, "Gotcha!" And he shoots both of us. And he thinks this is great fun, and Jansen, I guess, has put him up to this. And then, so Jerry yells, "God!" So so I mean, it's chaos. I mean, what should have been shot 2 hours ago is still going on. We finally, I'd say, I'm absolutely convinced I'm never going to work again. And so we go back, we do it again, and we finally get it. And I nod at him, he nods at me. I kick open the door. We go in, we get the guy, and we get the shot. And I think this whole sequence took about 2.5 to 3 hours, something that should have been done in 20 minutes. So that was the first part of the great police story, David Jansen stories. The second part now comes into the conclusion where we are now in downtown LA. Now, this is long before they've renovated downtown LA. And, a lot of slum stuff was shot in downtown LA because downtown LA had a lot of slums in it. So at the end, this is where we get James Woods, we kill James Wood, we rescue Jane Alexander, and all of that. So we are up on the roof. We've gotten this, and David again has got all the lines, and there's an air conditioning unit, huge unit. And David tells me, you're going to go around to the right. I'm going to go around to the left, and we'll get, because James Woods has Jane Alexander, in front of him, blocking her, and we figure we can get him in a cross shot, right? So we are rehearsing this, and David's being good. He's really being good, and we've rehearsed it a couple of times. And we go around. And again, I have my usual lines. Yes, sir, got it. And so we go around. Actually, it's David who shoots him, right? And and James Woods falls off the roof to his death. We rescue Jane Alexander, and that's how it's supposed to end. So we rehearse this now, and we're getting ready to shoot it. And all of a sudden, from across the street, right, this window sash flies open, and this old woman, drunken old woman who just living there, there, leans out in the window. She goes, you bastards, you fucking bastards, quit shooting all them fucking guns off. Who's shooting all them guns off? And she's screaming at the top of her lungs, and she's hysterical, and you can't get her to stop. And so she says, I'm calling the police. Where are the police? Well, who's up on the roof? The police, David and me. And I have a shotgun, and David has his pistol. David walks over to the side of the roof, and he looks at me, and he goes, lady, we are the police. And he shoots at her. Oh! So I shoot at her. And she dives under the bed and in the hotel room, and they can't get her out. She's screaming. You can't shoot. Jerry London is just beside himself. I think Jerry London, probably had to go away for therapy for 2 months after this. But lady, we are the police. So they now have to get the fire department to go up in this building, drag this woman out. We've held this thing up, for hours while they get this woman out. And I go, Dave, I'm never going to work again in this town. He could go. And again, he was half in the bag, but they finally get the woman out and down the stairs, and it's quiet. And Jerry London comes back and says, please, can we get this shot? And we get the shot, and that was the end of it. And
That's great.
Those are my two David Jansen stories. And there's a sequel to it, which was funny because David was getting ready to be slated to go up to San Francisco to shoot a 2-hour movie of the week with a similar character. Before I left, I said, well, can I come up and be your flunky in your movie? And he went, absolutely, I'll set this up. And he died a month later.
Oh my God.
Yeah, David, if you look up David Jansen, he died very young. He died before that movie, was shot. So I had more bad luck on my part. I went too soon, David. You died too soon. And but anyway, those are the two David Jansen stories. The Dog Day Afternoon in an hour, and the police story stuff.
Wow.
So those are just, funny stuff and great funny stories, outside of Battlestar Galactica that, I had, the fun of doing. Jerry London, I must say, bless his heart, hired me forever after that. And just as a side thought today, we've had a death in the industry, and this is a little strange, but you don't know the director, Bruce Bilson, who was a well-known television director, died at 97 last Friday night. And if you have ever watched episodic television of shows like, BJ and the Bear and I Love Lucy, I mean, he goes all the way back to the 60s. And there's a funny story. Bruce Bilson, I'd worked for him. I mean, he made his life as an episodic television director. And he was the director that my first wife ran off with.
Whoa!
No way!
He was the director my first wife left me for and ran off with him. And I mean, I held no grudges. I did, it was, this was the person who made her happy. They were together for 45 years. He was significantly older than she was. Rennie is now 80, turning 80 this week. And they had a great life together, and I always loved him. But it was so funny, when I looked at all his credits, I realized I worked for him more times after he stole my wife than I did before he stole my wife, which proves two universal things. One, Jewish guilt, and two, every actor's a whore. It's just a matter of what are they going to pay you. But so anyway, those are my stories. Those are the David Jansen stories. Wow. Just the,
So Jack, you mentioned you said you couldn't remember the producers. I kind of looked it up, and what popped up was and we're talking Police Story. David Gerber and
Yep.
Mel Swoop.
Yep, David Gerber. It was Gerber. Yep, he was the one who showed up, really angry. And because Police Story had been going on, but it was mostly hour episodes, and this was a 2-hour episode, so this was a big one. And as an actor who you and I have talked about all along as what's known as a working actor, you never know where your next job was coming for. A 2-week gig, was you got top of the show. So I think at that point, it was probably $5,000 a week for me, and for 10 grand, was great. And it was, I loved working with Jerry London. I loved working with David, and he just, he caused great havoc. He was difficult to work with executives because of his demands. As a fellow actor and somebody, that I worked with, he couldn't have been nicer to me. He knew he had somebody next to him that would put up with all his antics, and he was just incredibly nice to me. And I loved him, and I was sorry to see him go, along with the rest of them. But just very quickly, I hope your friends in this Mysticon thing. That's right in the middle of this winter storm that's going through there. I hope they get some people.
Yeah.
It's
you've done conventions. You know how weather can affect.
Oh, absolutely. It's I've sat in some empty halls, and going,
I bet.
well, but I wish them the best of success, and I hope it's a good show for them. It sounds like one of the smaller conventions that still, there's still a few of them out there, I guess.
Yeah.
I know
Believe it
that,
or not.
there's one called Shore Leave that I know Lorette and Herb are going to.
Yes.
And they, I tried to get into Shore Leave all the time back when I was doing conventions. I could never get in. And,
really?
Yeah. So, this year I was supposed to go with them, and I was also invited to the big one in Dallas, the Retrocon.
Retrocon, yeah.
Oh,
RetroCon,
really?
they wanted to feature both casts of Galactica.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, but Annie's not well, and I don't think I think there was a problem with Herb, and Lorette had a problem, and they asked me to come. I talked with them, and I said, "There's just no way I can get on a plane and go there." I mean, we're talking handicap rooms, and I just, the condition I'm in, I just don't think I can go.
Oh.
And but I thanked them, and they were great, and yeah. So my convention days are over, as you guys know, but I still miss the fans, and I so enjoy talking with you guys. So I don't know if you want me on any longer in this. If anybody's got a question, or you got a question
Yeah,
for
well,
me.
Jack, there's a couple of things. One is, since you mentioned shore leave, we're there. We're going. We've been invited. We're going to be screening our fan film, The Stranded Warrior.
Right.
And then we have a Q&A panel. So, and they're giving us a table, believe it or not, Jack. So we're going to be there representing Battlestar, and Lorette will be there and Herb will be there, so it'll be really nice. And we might have a couple of Cylons too.
Well, here's a suggestion for you, and do this now. Can as president, if during your presence at your table and that, do you want to set up a 15-minute thing where we can do what you and I do here? And
Absolutely.
That would
I
be
can
amazing.
Say hi to the fans.
Yes.
And say, I'm sorry, I'm not there, but I could take some questions. I think that thing's in June sometime, but that would be something that if you're interested in it, I would be certainly willing to help you out with.
It's funny, we were going to ask you about that.
We were going to ask you to film, to do a little, like, a live to tape, like a 3-5 minute little thing for us. And we were going to actually, show it, broadcast it at the panel. So perfect. Thank you, Jack. Yes, we will. We accept.
I'd love to have you.
So
on.
now I don't have to do the tape. I'll just show up and on the panel. And,
yeah, that'd be great.
I'll be there. And,
all right, cool. My God, it's awesome. Thank you so much, Jack.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your experiences with agents, and did you encounter a difference between an agent and a manager when you were doing your stuff?
All right. Again, this is boy, back in the dark ages. Okay, so when I first started, and starting in New York, it's so starting because, this goes back to my first wife, the actress Renée Jarrett. She and I went to Northwestern together. We had known of each other, but we really didn't know each other. But one of my fraternity brothers, came out to my house in Connecticut and had Renée with him. Renée was visiting a friend of hers who lived in Connecticut. They ended up at my house. That's how I met Renée. Fell madly in love with her. Her mother was a manager, and mostly a children's manager. But she had some older people. So I went and I met with her mother, and her mother took me on as a client. And that was how I got representation into New York. So at that time, in New York, you didn't have to sign with an agent like you did, in California. You were represented by one person. You could freelance in New York. So, I mean, I had a manager, but a manager could not negotiate a contract for you. You had to have an agent. So you were actually paying double commissions. When I was, on all my children, I was paying 25% of my salary to an agent and a manager.
Jeez.
So, but, it was great because, having a manager, she would get the casting breakdowns for this and that and this and that, and she would submit me to an agent, and the agent would say, okay, I will submit him. So I would, part of my routine again, when I first moved into New York was, every day I would pick 5 agents and 3 or 4 casting directors, and I would just go visit their offices and say, hi, I'm Jack Stauffer. I hope you'll submit me for this, and here's my picture. And that's what you did. That was pounding the pavement back then. Today there's no such thing. Today, again, this is how big a dinosaur I am, and I miss this. I'm glad. I'm really glad my career was in the time that it was, because you dealt with people, and now I have people that I know in the industry. Lorette's daughter, Molly McCook, is well known. She had her on her own TV series, and I mean, she if she gets an audition, she has to do it in her garage. Part of her garage is set up. She reads the script and films it on her iPhone, and that's how she auditions. You don't get a chance to interact with anybody. And to me, one of the biggest parts of auditioning was, making sure you knew what the director and the producer wanted from the role that you were playing, and which is why for mostly in California, anytime I had an audition for something, I would immediately, when you go to an audition, you get sides, what is known as sides, which is, 3 pages of the script. And, that's how you auditioned. And there were people in the room. And I would go into the casting director's office at least the day before, and I would sit down and read the whole script. So, to me, as an actor, one of the things that I was taught, again, and as a director, I stress this so much. It's really important to know the moment before, the moment that you're in, and the moment after. And you can't get that from sides. You have to read the whole script. So, I mean, I could read sides and go, I'm going to read it this way. But after I read the whole script, I went, oh, no, this has to be done a different way. And then when I would go in the room and I would introduce myself to people, the impression that you make on the director and the producers who are in the room is really important. You as a person and you as an actor. And one of the first things I always do is make sure I shook everybody's hand and said, now tell me what you want me to do with this. How do you want this to be played? And I'll do the best I can. And, that's how I auditioned. And when it transferred to a thing called, videotape, it changed. And your first auditions were in front with a casting girl, and there was a camera in front of you, and a casting girl read the part to you, and not very well. You had to kind of, you kind of had to.
There's a reason why.
on your own. But no, I'm glad I came along as I did. I just, like I say, I would, from my apartment in Brooklyn, get on the train and subway and go in and go drop off pictures, and I'd go back and eat SpaghettiOs and put on a decent pair of pants, like I've told you many times before, go back into New York and go to Broadway and that intermission and go in with the crowd at intermission. Then I've told you that story about seeing the second act of all these shows. That's how I learned. And
wow.
Learned by watching. And, and then eventually I got a job with an agent submitting all his people for summer stock. And I think I've told you this story. And that was my job. I remember they paid me $6 an hour to do this. But I did this, and every time I sent, our clients out to auditions, I always went with them, whether or not I was right for the part or not. I always went and auditioned. and I laughingly got one person a job, me. And that's how in 1969 I ended up in the Coconut Grove in Miami. Doing room service with unknown actors, Paul Michael Glazer, Danny DeVito, Catherine Damon, and Jules Munchin was the old vaudeville star, was room service and doing that. And we were supposed to do black comedy behind that, which I was supposed to star in. And there just weren't, this was in the summertime and it was so hot, and there just wasn't enough people, to do it. So we did room service for 3 weeks, and then they canceled black comedy. And as it turned out, it was a blessing, because I went back up to the city, and if I'd done black comedy, I would have missed the initial auditions for All My Children. And it was the initial audition that I did at All My Children that got me that part. I was the first person they hired.
Wow. Well, speaking of that, Jack, Kim Harms she asked a question.
Okay.
She said, "Tell us what your early days in soap operas was like."
Oh God, that's
That's the next
a month from now.
Perfect.
That's a month from now. But I will tell her, I will tell her, from the beginning, it was, thank God for my theater training, because when we started All My Children, it was videotape was just being invented, so we were actually doing the show live. So you went in the morning, and this was, I've told you the whole thing about All My Children and how it was the first modern soap opera and how it became so popular by dealing with topical issues. It was the first show that featured young people as the stars, and how we were mentored by the creme de la creme of daytime. Again, so much of what I learned from these people. But you went in the morning, you read through the script for blocking, and then you had one dress rehearsal, and then you had to do it. And it was a half-hour show to begin with a 40-page script. And if you were in a couple of scenes, you had 10 or 12 pages of dialogue that you had to know. And for my theater training, thank goodness I was meticulous about learning my lines. And the show was really well written, so the dialogue kind of flowed, and so I didn't have a problem because I was mentally prepared. I remember leaving from the studio and going back home on the subway, the bus. I learned most of my lines going home, then I'd learn them again going back in. And I think I did 396 shows.
Wow.
And I think I maybe had to use the teleprompter twice in those 396 shows.
That's impressive.
Yeah. But there are funny stories. When she asked me about it was you really had to be on the ball and know your stuff. And there were people that couldn't do it. It wasn't that they were bad actors. And I think you stop me if I've told you these stories before, but Robert Urich came on the show, lasted 3 weeks, got fired. He just could not handle the pressure. Joanna Miles, who played my aunt, she would get so nervous about losing her lines. I literally, I remember one scene that we filmed. She had on an orange dress, and that dress, while we were doing the scene live on the air, that dress went from orange to dark red with the sweat that poured down her arms.
Whoa.
She couldn't handle the pressure. And was she a bad actress? No, she won a Primetime Emmy a year later for The Glass Menagerie. So, so it was, you had to be skilled and you had to be good under pressure. It's like, 3-2 count in baseball, got to put the ball in play. And wow. that's why I loved it. Because to me, it was theater. It was everything I'd learned in theater that I had to scale back, and that was where we were mentored so closely by these wonderful people that you've heard me talk about: Ray McDonald, Bruce Warwick, Fra Heflin, who's Van Heflin's sister, Mary Fickett, just all these people who surrounded Karen Gorney, Richard, Susan Lucci, and me, and cocooned us. And and when I come on again, there's 3 or 4 really funny stories of where we literally had to stop, because they did not want to stop, because you only had access to the brand new video tape, because that's why we were called Live on Tape, for 40 minutes to do a 30-minute show, because every other show or sports or anything had to have access to the tape machines. There weren't that many of them.
Wow.
Tape had just been invented. So that's why the first year the show was shot live. And I loved it. It was, but I learned so much about doing nothing. Um, and again, the difference between acting on stage and acting in front of a camera, all the emotions are the same. It's just the physicality of it has to be so small in front of a camera, where on stage it has to be so much larger so the people in the back of the theater can see you. But the internal process, the acting process is the same. And that's where I learned that, as a director, going on, that stillness works really, really well. And that seems to be disappearing now. I'm just gonna, can I go off on a little political rant? Not a political rant, just a rant here. I watched the Golden Globes. I looked at the SAG nominations, and I've just seen the Oscar nominations, and I just don't understand the films that they're making these days. I'm a dinosaur. The fact that Sinners got the most nominations in history, I look at this movie and I go, well, they made this movie for George Clooney. It was the first movie he did when he came out of ER. It was called From Dusk to Dawn. They just remade the movie.
Right.
It's vampires.
That's the sense I got as well.
Yeah, it's not. I'm going, why are you nominating this film for 16 years? In fact, I've seen most of them, because sitting here, I have to vote for SAG. So, I've been screening them, and I go, the one with Emma Stone in it, I just don't understand it. I don't get it. I'm going, where are the great movies? Where are the movies where you have a great plot, where you can, articulate with the characters, you can identify with the characters, you root for somebody, you root against somebody, but you care about what's going on the screen, and the film leaves an impression with you. And I go, I go back and go, geez, where is the Lawrence of Arabia's? Where is anything made by David Lean or Alfred Hitchcock or Kubrick
Falcon
all these films? Where are the Godfathers? Where's films like All the President's Men, Dances with Wolves, to go with modern ones? The last couple of years, it's just these bizarre, off-the-wall films. Even Hamlet, I guess, which is the second most thing. I looked at it and I thought, it's wonderful acting if you're really interested in the life of William Shakespeare in the 16th century. And by the way, I voted for the girl in it because she is marvelous in it. But it's not a film that I'd want to see again. It's not a film that you see 3 or 4 times. It's not a Casablanca that you see 15 times and find something new in it all the time. So that's my modern rant. I miss films that you can identify with, that characters with, that have great actors in them, great writing, great scores. I just don't see them anymore. It's all just off the wall, wild stuff. Begonia. Yeah, that's the one with Emma Stone. I just don't think. To me, that was just 2 hours of yelling. Jesse Plemons, who's a wonderful actor, does nothing but yell for 2 hours. I don't see, anything in that character that to me is award worthy. But everybody says to me, Jack, you're a generation that's gone, like the dinosaurs. It's a different world. And
I think it's, Jack, I don't think that it's completely a gone world. I don't think that, using that label of being a dinosaur, I don't agree with you with that, because there are enough of us that are slightly younger, not, we're not in our 20s or 30s, but we still have a very strong appreciation and a link to, the type of film and movies that you're describing.
Oh, yeah.
And I miss it. I don't watch a lot of TV if it's not something that is recommended and is not in, specifically in the genre and good. Right. I won't watch, and I will not go to the theater, unfortunately, to spend good money when people, first of all, the product isn't good, and second of all, it's a mixed bag. You go and people are talking, they bring their children.
Yeah.
But it's not, no, you're not, it's not you, and you're not, outdated, and you're not that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's very political now too. And I mean, I think it was always award ceremonies were always political, but it is even more political now. And I mean, the SAG Awards. How do you not nominate Landman for Best Drama Series? How do you not nominate Billy Bob Thornton,
Right.
who's so brilliant? In fact, just 2 nights ago, we went back and we're watching it again, watching Goliath again.
Oh, wow.
And he's brilliant in it. But I got one for your viewers now, and this I'm going to tell them to watch a film, and I think you can find it on Netflix. It's called Friend, and it stars Naomi Watts, and it's just a lovely film. And Bill Murray is in it, and I won't. And Bill Murray is an old man. I don't want to give this away too much, but he dies. And he leaves her this huge Great Dane, and she doesn't know what to do with this dog because she lives in a rent-controlled apartment, and she doesn't want to give this up, and there's no dog policy in it. And it's how she and this dog in New York City, how she tries to solve this problem. And it's lovely. And watch it for the dog. But I mean, I looked at her performance in this, and the tears just ran down my face, and I thought she should be nominated for that. It's a tiny little film called Friend. Watch it. You'll really like it. You'll really like it.
So let me ask you this, Jack.
That thing is a big dog.
Wow, that's not a little dog.
Yeah. So The Friend. Yeah.
Yep.
So Jack, there's a question that Lola, one of our probably 10 first supporters that watched our show 6 years ago, very dear to us. She asked the question. I'm going to try to wrap it up into something I'm curious about.
Yeah.
Now, watching all the great television from back in the 70s, some of the stuff that I always loved watching, the Fantasy Island. Right when it first came out, especially, and then there's some of the older stuff that kind of predates it. Some of it went spilled over. Like I think of I Dream of Jeannie, and I think of Bewitched. I know that you were in the Partridge Family. I know that you've done, I think it was the Bionic Woman. So you've done a lot of stuff from back in those times, or any of the shows. Was there anything that you wanted to be on? Is anything that you were like, oh, I kind of wanted to do that one, or was it just I'm working and I'm happy to, did it matter? Was there a choice? Did you ever think, oh, it would have been cool to do that franchise?
I wanted to be on all of them.
Great answer.
Especially Chips,
perfect.
right?
Yeah. Oh, well, that story.
Yeah.
So I turned that one down. No, I mean, every show that I was on, and again, I've told you this before, I was lucky. I just didn't have that many bad experiences. I just, the famous horse story from How the West Was Won, and working with James Arness and Fionnuala Flanagan, and the whole thing, of getting the script from, when going and running and telling them that Glenn had told me I was going to become a regular cast member, and then getting the script for the War of the Gods, which was the last one, and I'm in the first 6 pages, and then I disappear into the light, and they don't find me until 2 hours later, and going, well, so much for being a big star. And on the makeup trailer, when I told the director, who was Ralph Sinensky, this on the makeup trailer, they'd hung a sign for stars only, and they wouldn't let me in the makeup trailer. But I liked every show I was on. I think if I had probably a better answer, I always wish I was the big guest star on all of the shows that I was on. I always wanted more. I always wanted to do more, and but such was the nature of the biz. I mean, I had 4 pilots that I did for my own series that I was the star of, and none of them got picked up. And of course, the Dobermans was the one that broke my heart. And but I I loved working. I loved being on the set. I loved the crew. I just, I was never, I never thought myself bigger than anybody else. I never thought, oh, I'm the star, I'm the big kahuna, everybody has to count out of me. I didn't. I was, and again, I go back to all my children. I go back to being part of a team. And, like watching this Indiana football team that won everything, and, what they did and how those players all loved each other. And I thought, whatever I do in front of the camera or as a director is part of a team of which I have a role to play in part of that team. And it doesn't work unless you're all rowing the boat in the same direction at the same speed. And so nobody's better than anybody else. I don't know, what time is it?
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Okay,
Jack, you're good.
Okay.
There's one thing I need to ask you real quick. Simple is, did you have to have an agent for all of the roles that you got?
Yes, that was the rule. Again, this was, back in the days where SAG was much more important. It all changed with cable.
Huh.
And that was when there were no rules. When HBO first started and Showtime first started, there was no rules in the SAG contract for this. And these producers and stuff found out they could hire non-union actors, and there was nothing to stop them. And
Wow.
so that was the beginning, of the end of our union's influence over the industry. And I would say our unions have very little influence over the industry, especially today, because we know how much talent there is out there. And when I was active, your union protected you. The only way you got auditions was through agents. And now, these young actors, they do what you did. You make your own film. You got waivers for a couple of SAG actors, but most of you are not non-union. You couldn't have done that,
Oh, wow.
back in my day. So, I mean, which is why I think, there's a lot of opportunities for people who wanted to do what I do. You just have to be very entrepreneurial these days. But these young people have, and like I say, you can do this with your iPhone, and just making the trailer for the Second Coming. But Richard and all of us and I, did with a lot of fans. Most of the people that were in the trailer were non-union. We did have a SAG waiver for Richard and me, but that was, again, that was everybody rowing in the same direction at the same time, because we did that with very little money. And, we came very, very close to, that going but then they gave it to Ron Moore, which all that story. But I say that, all the people out there who want to do what I do, this is me preaching again, you have to set your priorities. And my priorities were from, age 5 on. I knew I had to be out front. I don't think it's a very good quality in somebody. It's narcissistic, given what our present government is, being led by somebody pathologically narcissistic. But I had to be out front. Look at me. It was just part of my DNA. And what I was, I think, able to do was shut it off when I, wasn't in front of the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, I probably had more friends in the crew, and I must admit, most of my friends were outside of the business. I didn't think I was a big shot. I was just doing what I love to do. But then, I have to admit, I never got the notoriety that somebody has today, where you can't walk out of your building without being accosted by
paparazzi. Yeah.
paparazzi. You know, as I told you, only once in the third year of All My Children, when Susan Lucci and her husband and Rennie and I were on the beach in Long Beach in the summertime, and we got surrounded by a bunch of fans. We had to leave. One time in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the only time. But
have we heard that story?
Yeah, I got stopped on buses. And saying, "Oh, we love you," and I just chat with them, and I just and I didn't really. It wasn't until later that I thought maybe you made somebody's day. Well, okay, all I had to do was be nice to somebody, and which is why I really don't like actors who just shun the fans. But I do understand the fact that they're overwhelmed these days. We weren't overwhelmed back then, but this was long before social media, long before everybody sticking an iPhone in your face. Long before that, it was a different time, and I'm glad I was in the time that I was in. But
way cool though, way cool, Jack. We really enjoy having you here on the show, and so does everyone that's watching. Everybody that watches afterwards. So we want you to continue visiting us. There's always more to talk about and kind of delve into. So there's always the great funny stories and the narratives that you have for us. But there's always look, we get some good questions, and I always there's always something else that we want to learn from you. So thank you for helping out. We love it.
We always get a master class every time you come on. So
also too, and how I feel. I'm very grateful that you asked me. I'm at the end of my life, and all I have now are my memories. I don't like being a cripple in a wheelchair. I try not to feel sorry for myself, but if I had two legs, I'd still be out there. It never leaves you. I miss it, and I especially miss paying it forward. I really do. I really miss working with actors and telling them not to be afraid, not to be vulnerable. My favorite line is, acting is like falling in love. You have to jump in with both feet and risk being hurt. But the rewards are great. And to all the fans that are out there who might be watching this, if this is something that you want to do, find a way to do it. Find a community theater in your area and go audition. All they can do is say no. They can't send you to Vietnam. they might send you to Greenland.
Very cold there.
Very cold. So next time, the All My Children funny stories. We'll put those in.
Yeah, I was just looking at the All My Children episodes. I cannot believe there's just season one's got 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we shot 50 weeks of the year, five days a week, and I was in about half the episodes. So it was. There was not a day that I didn't like going to work. I loved it. As I've said, if I could go back and undo one decision in my life, I'd have stayed on that show forever. I liked working. I liked having a job to go to, and I never liked the ups and downs. But again, it was a different time. I'd made a promise to my wife, and again, daytime, and nighttime, prime time, daytime, there was still a chasm in between, and now that chasm has closed. But there really is no. I think there's only two soaps out there. There's General Hospital and Bold and Beautiful, and I just talked to John McCook the other day, and he's still doing it.
Yep.
Still doing it at 83, and
wow.
So yeah, and I talk to Lorette all the time, and I figure in the next life I'll see Richard again because he needs somebody to pick on.
Well, Jack, again, thank you so much. We are going to reach out to you offline, off camera. We will talk
Yeah.
and
Yeah, about the
we'll figure out.
yeah.
We said like a live to tape. No, we might bring you
Just
in live
live.
if we have the bandwidth. We'll bring you in live for the
I think
panel.
we can
That
get
would
the
be so
bandwidth
cool.
if they're
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's in June. We'll worry about that in
yeah.
June.
July.
Oh,
July.
July.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But I'll see you guys next month if you
Oh
want
yeah,
to keep
definitely,
doing
for
this
sure.
on a monthly basis.
100%.
And to all the fans out there, thank you for letting me ramble on. You make my night. You make me feel alive again. And thank you guys for having me on. And I'll see you in a month.
You
Yep.
got it, Jack. Thank
I'll
you
talk to
so
you soon.
much. All the best.
All the
See you,
best,
Fans
Jack.
Fuel
guys.
the Fleet.
Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.
Man, isn't that cool? Isn't that just so cool? I mean, incredible.
And he's like Richard, and
Yeah.
he's like he loved the fans. He would do
Absolutely.
anything for the fans. There's a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
Erica says
fantastic.
my mom loved all my children and would get upset when the show was interrupted by breaking news. Yeah, we know that, right? I mean, watching the original Battlestar, so very cool.
What did his mom call
Um,
him? I forgot. Jack.
yeah.
Jack. What do you say?
golden something.
Ah, Golden Boy.
Yeah.
Ah, doggone it, I forgot.
Mike de Bruin says the gun on Ice Planet Greenland. Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Demetrius
guys.
says he does it for the fans as well. I mean, you do it for you. I think when you build something or write something, or you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for the other people that appreciate that genre or that whatever. You're creating something for that they can appreciate. And not everybody appreciates it. I mean, look at the Star Trek controversy recently. Who would have thought that was coming? No, it always does. The Starfleet Academy.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, come on,
they're
man.
being rough on that. I watched that. It was entertaining.
I
thought
did.
it
I
wasn't
watched
that
the
bad.
first two episodes. I
Yeah.
watched the
I
one
thought it was
again
very
tonight.
entertaining.
It's Sunny Boy. I think
Sunny Boy, that's
what-
it.
Sunny Boy. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, we do it for the fans is right, Demetrius. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna look forward to having him come back again, and it's so cool that he actually volunteered. So
we're gonna-
he'll,
Yeah, it's funny how we were going to ask him to do that.
we were
and
gonna
it's-
ask him, and he jumped. He didn't. Yeah, without
We didn't get a
prompting.
chance to
Mediocre
ask.
modeler. Thank you for. I just saw "Love Me Some Jack." Yes, thank you. Thanks, guys. I think there was who is it? Someone else. I think I overlooked. Oh, Superfan Fran. Thank you for joining us live. Appreciate you and everybody else. We have a lot of stuff going on. You guys, we try to post as much as possible on IFB, so look for that. Don't forget to look at some of the other things as well. We are gonna have a lot of fun at Shore Leave, being that
that's our
we've
next,
had.
I think that's our next big con for sure.
It's our
Yeah.
next big
And then
con.
right after that's Dragon Con. So whew,
Yeah, wow. But
Wow.
I'll tell you, Shore Leave.
it's really
I'm
shaping up to be something huge.
Yeah, you and I are going to be there. Plus, if you guys are looking on IFB site, you'll see everybody else that's coming. We're posting them. I think the last one, the last two that I put up that were confirmed was Dave Fretz. Thank you, Dave, for coming out. And of course, John One is coming with us as well. I think there might be a few others. So it's going to be great. I've talked it out with Tipsy, and we're going to set up a new set of promotional material for the Stranded Warrior. And so there'll be stuff to be signed and handed out for anyone that wants it. That was part of what, we're giving back. And so that's going to be fun. You'll get your free autographs, one per person, please. And everybody, we're going to do the best that we can to make as many as we can afford so that we can, share it with everyone that wants one. So, we're going to set it up so that everybody will have something to sign. And, so a lot of the cast is coming, and it's going to be great. We're waiting to see when what the slot is, when we're going to get our screening, when we're going to get our day and screening time. And once we get that, we're going to try to see if Captain Martin will be available I've had a couple of conversations with him. For those of you that have been following along with the fact that Mr. George Zuvalos, director, award-winning director, filmmaker, writer, actor, who starred in The Stranded Warrior, has his own first feature film that is going into a limited theatrical release, followed by streaming. It'll be streaming on the major platforms. His movie Once a Week for Life, and Tipsy and I were directly involved, as well as, you guys know my cousin George. He was the DP on Once a Week for Life. And so we were involved in that, and that's going to have, streaming distribution. And that's the first of two films and many more. So hopefully he wants to come to Shore Leave. George Zuvalos wants to come, Captain Martin. So it all depends on any conflicts with the release of his first feature-length motion picture that he starred in, he directed, and he wrote.
He was gracious enough to give us a part.
Yes, we got parts. So yeah, we are both. I think, if I'm not mistaken,
go ahead.
You might be in the second movie.
Oh, me?
I have
the
my character. I don't know. You might be in both. I'm not sure. I know that I have bit parts in the first and in the second, but you are definitely, I know, in the second.
Was it in? Was this side? I don't think it was this side.
Yeah.
Or was it this side?
You get to do the funny part, which is great. So, but yeah, you were in a couple of other scenes too with me. We actually acted together in it, and so I think anyway, we're in that. It's Once a Week for Life. It's a police, a dark police drama with some sprinkling of East Coast humor in it. So it's very original, good stuff, great actors in it. I mean, if you haven't looked into it, look into it.
It was going to a bunch of different streaming platforms.
Yep, streaming platforms, Amazon and I believe Netflix. It's going to Apple. It's going to all kinds of stuff. So that's great.
It's coming up. Of my one scene.
Yes, of course. You actually have lines, though. We both have lines.
We both have lines.
Yeah, we both have lines in it. And I got to do, I was a segment producer, as well as a segment producer, and I got a couple of credits for it. And thank you for the opportunity, Captain Martin. And hopefully you'll be able to come to Shore Leave. That was the whole point of this, was to let you guys know that his heart is in the right place. He wants to be there. He's going to try to be there. If he can't, it's for good reason. And the rest of us will be there, right? You and I, Chris, we will be there for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we have a lot of you that are coming in, a lot of you that have told us and confirmed that were a part of the Stranded Warrior you guys were actively involved in the actual filming. So you will be there, and we're posting that up. And then some of you that actually supported the Stranded Warrior to make the dream happen, I think are going to come down as well. So we're going to have a great time. We have a table, we got the panel, the screening. So we're really, really proud of that accomplishment. And thank you, Shore Leave 46, for doing that and having us. And of course, thank you to Mysticon for, we submitted through the process, on Film Freeway, the platform, Chris, we submitted The Stranded Warrior, and it went from, the screeners to judging to finalists. We were finalists. Are finalists in Mysticon in their convention film festival, and that's happening this weekend. So we'll have results. Being a finalist is the same as being nominated on when you're watching the Oscars, right? You watch the Oscars and all of a sudden it's there's the 5 nominees or 4 nominees and there's one winner. It's like, that's us. We've been nominated. We're finalists. We've been nominated for, best fan film. So, and we've done that a couple of times now, guys. So thank you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting. Thank you being here with us. And thank you to everybody else that watches us later on as we get closer to, wrapping it up. Yes, it's salty. Of course, Mike Brown. That's exactly what it is. It's going to be fun. and we'll let you know as that solidifies. We'll let you know for those of you that are around that can see it in the movies. We'll do a live broadcast from one of the premiere at the movie theater, and then of course once it goes streaming, we'll let you know where to go to see that. And then so we're doing various screenings, right? Mysticon, and then we're doing Shore Leave, and then we're gonna actually do a premiere, a local premiere in New York City. We'll let you guys know when that's gonna happen once that gets set in stone, and we will be screening both the Stranded Warrior and the Tower Protocol. And we're working on other projects as well. Hopefully, you guys got to listen to the audio drama Under the Desk that Tipsy was the audio engineer for, and we also co-wrote. And so it's phenomenal. Tiny Bean Tara stars in it, and it's really, really fun, really, really good. It's part of the world building and the Tower Protocol, my original IP story that I created with my cousin George. And we did our first indie film was back in 2004, and then we updated the story. Right, we took the lead from the original Tower Protocol and then brought him back. It's like, where has this guy been for 20 years? What did he do? And then all of a sudden, here he is, fighting the good fight against supernatural, incursions that are gonna try to destroy the world. And so he steps up, he comes out of the shadows, and does his thing, and that's Colonel White. So
I just threw the link
there
up
you go, guys.
I just threw the link up for the audio drama. So
say again.
I just threw the link up for the audio drama.
Oh,
if you haven't
perfect.
watched it, go there and give it a thumbs up.
Yeah. It's a heads up audio drama. Thank you, Demetrius. Appreciate support. You're gonna keep us posted as well, Demetrius, on your projects, because fellow filmmaker.
I just was zipping through one of our things the other day and saw the kind of curious how the animated thing is going.
I saw some pictures he had up on his social media, showing some background behind the scenes stuff, on getting scenes and shots set up and the like. And so I like
don't
that.
Forget, tune in next week. We've got an award-winning AI director and creator. Will be on the show next week.
That's right. That's right.
Emil.
So Jacqueline was on. I think she's still on with us. Jacqueline, thank you for the director of Wolf Media and Wolf Media Festival, another festival that we made a good impression on. And so, we've been awarded both for IFB as a podcast and, of course, the Tower Protocol. So Jacqueline, thank you for watching and joining us here. She's been a guest, and we actually were interviewed on her podcast. And so we'll let you know when that's dropping, and you guys can tune into that. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
We also have another interview with another podcaster filmmaker that does fan films, has made a lot of great Star Trek fan films. And so we're going to be interviewed on his, and we'll let you know. He's also going to be a guest here on IFB soon. So we'll let you know about that. And John 1 is on as well. John, thanks for doing your part and helping, bring our guests, and appreciate you and all the work that you do behind the scenes, right? It's important to actually, thank everybody behind the scenes. But keep watching, guys. Keep liking, keep supporting. If you haven't signed up or subscribed over on YouTube, please go over on our YouTube channel and subscribe. And if you can, you go watch some of our other stuff. You can just play in the background as a podcast. You don't have to actually watch us. You can just listen to us. I know some of you do that. Believe it or not, we do have a couple of episodes on Spotify. There's, I think, 3 or 4. So you could find those on Spotify. They're older stuff, but it's still funny, still good. We always have a good time with this stuff. And Battlestar Galactica, I don't know how many of you actually got your Atlantia. I finally got my Battlestar Atlantia. Mine. And
isn't that crazy? They only made like 300 of them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. We jumped on it right away. Poor Pete's like, you made me spend money again.
Yes, he did.
So and even
Absolutely.
doing all that, I can't afford to keep the lights on here. So
Yes, you overheated yourself and your whole system.
that's right.
However,
It got hot in here.
all right. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna have, oh, as always, we'll have more Battlestar in one form or another. Tonight we had Jack Stauffer, Lieutenant Bojay was with us, telling us about, his background and stuff and his history, and just, telling us all
how long
about
it
what's
stays
going
on.
on and in the
Hot in
world
here.
that we don't know. We love watching this stuff, but we are so big fans that we like to find out like behind the scenes and what
Oh
goes on,
yeah.
behind, the curtain, so to speak. And that's what we're getting. It's like you said, Tipsy, it's a master class.
Oh yeah. It's a master. I mean, I really enjoyed his master class on directing.
Yep.
It was a couple of months ago. He
Yep.
talked about how to be a good director and how he was a director and how, it feels to watch, when they're up there acting, it's over. As as a director, they're doing their own thing. You've already done everything that you can in regards to being a director of a play, and he's like, you just got to. That's it. That's all there is to it. But he talks about how everything was so he felt everything that they were feeling, and he made sure they were doing the right things, and it was a really great masterclass. I was pretty cool. But
Jack's cool,
yep,
and we're lucky to have Jack as a friend that comes on and supports IFB and loves the
and
fans.
he loves the
Um,
fans. That's
yeah, so that's good stuff.
it's rare.
We'll have updates for you on some of the projects, including some. We have a couple of books
Yep,
that we're working on. So stay tuned for that. That's in the making. We'll follow up on some of the other projects that have carried over from 2025. There are a couple. We'll keep you in the loop with that. And then we have a couple of new things that are going to be, worked on and
hmm
completed as 2026 unfolds, both IFB related, uh, film related, both producing, making film, that kind of stuff, plus writing. So just, bear with us and stay tuned. Tipsy,
never a dull
it's
moment.
never a dull moment. It's a wild ride. And of course, there's the conventions, right? So
Yep.
that's a big part of what we're doing as well. And I'm looking forward to meeting up with you guys at Shore Leave,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Shore
definitely.
Leave.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be a big get
And we're
together.
taking, yep, they'll be there. So Shore Leave is going to give us a half a page for the Stranded Warrior in the journal, or sorry, the program. And we're also taking out an IFB ad in their program at Shore Leave. So look for that. If you get a chance, there's
And a
going to be only
Cylon
a
meetup.
Yes,
Cylons
that's right.
rule.
We're doing the meetup. There's going to be 2,000, from what I was told, 2,000 programs. They might get upwards of between 7 and 10,000 guests are expected. So if you
Wow.
get your hands on one of those programs, you'll still, we're in it. So that's kind of cool. Looking forward to meeting up with all you guys.
Yep. Hey, George is off.
Oh, George, we were just talking about you, Captain Martin. Hopefully, the conflicts with your obligation with once a week for life, the first one, and then of course you'll be following it up with the second one. Hopefully, you can make it to shore leave. We don't have the dates yet, but as soon as we do, we will let you
Shore
know
leave dates.
in hopes that you can join us. It would be fantastic to have the star at shore leave since they're giving us the panel, the screening, the table, and we're gonna have so many of the supporting cast coming out, and of course we're gonna have Colonial Warriors, and I believe we're gonna have at least one Cylon, so it's gonna be awesome.
Well, I think we
So,
got three. I know one's gonna be gold.
so it's gonna be really cool. Of course, Lorette and Herb will be there, and it's gonna be fantastic. And we have Jack. Jack is going to hopefully be able to, if we have the
Yeah,
bandwidth, he's
we'll
going to
we'll
be
talk to
live
the con and
on the
see if
panel.
they're willing
Imagine
to help
that.
us out with that. That'd be
Is
fun.
that insane or what? So thank you to everybody. Guys, next week is our next show. Hope to see you there. And
David said one silver. At least that's two.
there
Two
we go.
Cylons. I
That's
think there's somebody else
fantastic.
chimed in a little while ago. It was 3.
So
Don't
hopefully
forget
it is.
to go to Facebook and go to events under IFB and
Yep.
check that you're coming. So we kind of know how many people are coming.
Yes.
We're going to get together and do a dinner
Dinner.
one night. So
Yep.
I'll put that
That's
up
gonna
as
be
soon as we
great.
figure out where it's at. We're a little far out in regards to reserving a space to eat. So, but we'll definitely have a place to eat.
Yes, we definitely are. We're working on it. I know that Tipsy and Mrs. Tipsy Toaster is also looking on,
My strudel.
venues. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be
My
fun.
toaster strudel.
I have never actually gotten to do a official IFB. We haven't done one. This will be our official IFB slash Stranded Warrior dinner at a
Yep.
con.
And expect handouts and things like that. We'll have some cool
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have
Lots
a
of
really
swag.
good time. Oh yeah. So guys, with that said, thank you so much for
Already that
tuning
time,
in.
isn't it? Oh man, time flies.
Yeah, it does. It was a lot of fun. We had Mysticon and Jack Stauffer. And we will have Shore Leave are sending reps to IFB. So stay tuned. Eventually we're gonna have them come on. They're gonna tell us a lot about, the con. If you get tickets, you get 2 free autographs.
Oh yeah.
The two two
Stargate Atlantis.
guests from from Stargate are coming on,
Just
and
started a
you will be
rewatch for
able to
that by
get their
accident, by
autograph.
the way. So
Yeah, it's good
Yeah.
stuff. It's a lot of fun. They're going to be there, and you get their autographs for free included in your ticket. So I mean, how can you beat that?
That's
You
cool.
can't. You can't. There's no conventions that you go to where you buy a ticket to get in,
Paul.
and then you get autographs for free. That hasn't been done since like the 70s. So I mean, and
Baltar might be serving, Paul, if we can get Eric to come down.
yes, Eric Engler said he's going to try to come down. It would be such a blast if he could. I would love to see him again. But there you go, guys. Thank you again. Looking forward to next week. And whoever can come down to Shore Leave, please do. If you can come down to Mysticon in Roanoke, please do, and you'll get to see the Stranded Warrior.
Until next time, then. We appreciate you being here. Don't forget to hit the likes and follows, especially on the YouTube channel. I did have a link to it. I just sent it to everybody there. If you want to go into the thing and just check the check marks, follow, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. Do those things for us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you next week. And next week it'll be Emil. He is an AI filmmaker and award-winning AI filmmaker.
Award-winning VFX Hollywood.
Yeah, he's actual VFX Hollywood.
And he's been on the show before, so
Yep.
we're gonna have him back on.
So until then, take care, stay warm, stay safe. Hopefully the lights don't go out on you people on the East Coast with all the ice storms and everything we're expecting.
Yeah.
But till next Thursday, fans feel the
fans feel the fleet, guys. Keep the faith.